Minecraft has 16 different dye colors with various different dyeable blocks. But what would happen if they added more dye colors? And even without dyes, what happens when you add more colorful blocks? Alright, here's our first example here. I tried to use as many colors as possible, even though it's just like a dull New York City looking building. But already you can see how helpful all the new colors are. This is actually one of the new wool colors, ginger wool. And I believe this is, okay, that's just orange. This is coral terracotta. And it's nice to have like the terracotta and the concrete because you get dull versions that blend into these previous blocks. This definitely got oxidized. They're just more usable because they're desaturated. This is a new glazed terracotta. It's ginger glazed terracotta. And I thought it was a great transition into this. When they added glazed terracotta to Minecraft, I just remember the community like going crazy because we were like, that does not look like Minecraft. But now I'm like, we need more. We actually need more of them. Down here, these are different wood colors. These are willow stairs. And I believe this is, yeah, this is just like dye colored wood. A lot of people on my last video were commenting how they just wish you could dye wood different colors, which unfortunately I don't think Mojang's ever going to do. These are green stairs, but it does open up so many possibilities. Look at all these green colors on just one thing of green. And then this here is another wool color, olive wool. And I believe this is, okay, yeah, Palo Verde planks. The whole point here is like these transitions are so much better. Like in vanilla, you would have acacia, you would have bamboo. Maybe there's a better block in here you could use instead of this new amber color. But really, it's straight to the bamboo. And then like, I don't even know, maybe to like mossy cobblestone here. And then even this like redwood, we have mangrove wood, but the red wood, this bright red wood, this was in my last video as well. It's unlike anything else. And then these blocks like perfectly transition. This is coconut log. We just need more transitions into white. It's very dull right now with our colors into white. We don't have a lot of blue blocks. These are, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that, but let me just, here, look. These are like dull, but still colorful. They're just kind of desaturated and there's so many different options. Like look at this red. That could go well with like bricks. Yeah, very nice. And then these are just dye baskets. It's like a super desaturated color that like holds the dye. And it makes for some great gradients. You'll see in more of the video later. Sneak peek. All right, this next example is a little more crazy. I wanted to get all the colors out there. Here's more of these dye baskets. As you can see, like they're desaturated versions of the color, so you can go straight from these purple planks right here into the purple dye basket, into the light gray, and then straight into a brighter gray because of the way these colors work. Now, we still don't have a lot of greens like with the mods I downloaded. I'll put all the mods down in the description so you can play with them and make your own gradients. But yeah, I was still lacking on the green, so they're still like bold jumps here. Like imagine if there was a color between these and then a color between this. That would be incredible. But yeah, anyway, with the addition of like resin, I just think we need more like brighter saturated blocks. I think it'd be, I'm in an earlier version, so we don't actually have resin right now. But yeah, I'm down to have more saturated colors as long as there's transitions between them for gradients. This is another version of the church. I wanted to go desaturated after this massive saturated one here. We have a lot of grays, but we don't have a lot of colorful gray transitions. I also love these chalk blocks. These chalk blocks are so nice. This is like a warm blue, honestly, this gray chalk here, and it transitioned into this warm stone and then this warm grayish wood. It just makes it so much easier to transition blue into wood. We don't have that really. And then there's this nice brown color wood. I know like we have brown wood, but there's just so many brown colors that the game is missing. And like, I feel like everyone is hesitant to want more brown colors because we have so many. When you see some of the examples I have here, you'll just notice like how much brown we're actually missing. This is actually hellbark stairs, which is like a black wood, and this is black plank stairs. So it's actually just straight black. It's a little lighter than I would want it, but it blends really nicely with deep slate. All right, now this is the final version of the church. It's super colorful, but it's orange instead of blue. I was just looking through like the sandstone-y types of blocks, and I realized we don't have a lot of colors that, this is a Biomes O Plenty block called orange sandstone, and I just feel like having more of these desaturated orange blocks would be so nice. And look how this wool color, this is tan wool, it blends really nicely into these desaturated sandstone blocks. And then of course there's hints of this like pink wood over here, and there's like this red mahogany wood. So yeah, you can get creative. And then here's more of that black wood. Okay, dark reds. We are missing a lot of dark reds. We have netherrack, we have mangrove, but look at this darker red, redwood planks up here, and then maroon terracotta. See how nice that dark color looks in contrast? Like I thought this was dark in comparison to like red concrete, but then you look at it compared to the redwood and it's crazy. And then contrasting with that dark, here's some nice light. Look at this red chalk. We need this chalk block. I love this chalk block because we don't have pastels. So if you look at the chalk blocks, they're all pastel. I think adding in the pastels in like an entire block set would be the perfect way to do it. And I love the idea of chalk. Again, here's a pink sandstone instead of orange sandstone. I just love the idea of these like brighter, colorful blocks. Now, this one is one I will actually fight for. We need navy as a color. I wouldn't be mad if they just added navy. If they were like, we're adding one more dye, navy dye, I'd be like, please. We have nothing that even compares to these navy blocks. Oh my God, the navy wool like might be my favorite block. It is so pretty. And then we have woods here now, Umbran wood that blends in. This is from Biomes O Plenty to these navy blocks. And then you can get a fun, like this blue terracotta kind of is purplish and it blends into the navy, and you can add more colors and see how this pink kind of bleeds into this purplish color into the blue. And then again, more browns. This is like a really gray brown. I think it'd be fun to just have something like this for like a rotted church or something like that. I just think that'd be really fun. All right, we're getting real colorful here. This is a wizard's tower. I wanted it to be super colorful using these navy blue blocks. Look at the transition from black to blue. Right now we have blackstone. Okay, this is actually smooth blackstone, but and then we have like blue wool. I guess the darkest would be like crying obsidian. Even that's purple. It's literally purple. So like you really don't have a transition here with these blocks. Okay, well, let me just, yeah, there's not really, you could do something with purple. Purple might look nice there, but there's nothing to blue. That's why this Umbran planks in this navy are so nice. And then again, purple. I talked about this in my last video, but we have purple, and that is super light compared to this purple. We don't have any like mid purple. Here's that block that I'm not going to pronounce again. And it just creates a nice dark deep purple. It's not as dark as like blue terracotta. It's a perfect transition into purple. Like look at the purple on top here. And then see how these blocks, look at this light blue terracotta. It'll transition into different colors. So I can get this mahogany log into the granite, into the bricks. Again, more colors, more gradients. Building is shifting into this like gradient build style, and the more colors we have to fill those gradients, the better our builds are going to look. And I know a lot of people are saying block vomit, but like just build how you want to build. I feel like even if you didn't want to blend colors here, you could use these fun purples and make a fun purple house. I want a purple house. That'd be lit. For longtime viewers of my channel, you will recognize this diner, but it's a little bit different. I added in some modded blocks. This tiled glass, this isn't a color, but I really think we need tiled glass. There's just not enough shapes with glass. I think it is so fun to build with glass, and you can do so many fun things with glass, but we are kind of limited in how we use it right now. I want to talk about these blue gradients. Minecraft is obsessed with adding this color. Teal. We have a million teal blocks. We have copper. We have warped wood. We have prismarine. It's too much. We have none of this. So I've used the modded blocks to make a dark blue. Well, this is navy here. Transition into this teal. And over on the lighter side, I believe, yeah, look at this. It gets into like aquas, which is like a nice light blue. This isn't even... This is still too teal. Even with the mods, there's still not enough like light blue blocks. And look at these pinks. Look at this. If we had like a magenta wood, oh my gosh, this would be so nice. Look at these pinks planks. Look how bright cherry stairs are compared to like a regular looking pink. I'm so glad we got this pastel pink, but I just want more shades. What better way to show off color than to use hot air balloons? I think these are so pretty. Look at this red into this dark orange. Imagine if we had a nice dark orange and then it transitions so beautifully, because all the orange blocks we have are such like bright saturated oranges. We have the resin, we have orange concrete, like everything is so bright. We need this red to transition into a darker orange in order to fit in with these bright oranges. And then we have this tan terracotta, or beige, I guess it's beige, that blends so nicely into the brighter ones. It smooths out the transition so perfectly. Look at this like reddish wood. It is so pretty. Mahogany. Again with the browns. We have a lot of teals, but we don't have a lot of just like transition colors from blue to green. I know. Let me not talk about teals, but like a dark blue to a green. Look at how nice this like teal. Okay, it's literally called teal. I'm sorry. But the teal onto the green, and then look at this nice bright green into the lime. This is the final build, and it's also probably my favorite. I love that we have glowberries, but I want more hanging blocks. Look at this. This is wisteria, and it just having like a blue color. We have the yellow from glowberries, and we have the green from glowberries pretty much, but blue is so nice. And especially this like, what do you even call this? Like periwinkle? It's just so smooth. Now, as far as the yellows up here, I want more yellow. Look at this. This is like maple stairs. It's like an orangey wood, but it's not like bright acacia orange. It's like a brownie orange. Straight into this like aspen stair, which is yellow wood. We have bamboo, of course, but it's just so like piss yellow. I definitely said this in the last last video too, but this one is so bright and yellow and fun. Honestly, it looks like the top of the beehive texture. I noticed that. This is also a complaint about how many stair options we have. We don't have a lot of stair options. We need more stair colors. It really limits shapes in buildings when you don't have the stair colors. I wish every block had a stair and slab variant. Here's more of the colors, but in stained glass. We have this teal glass here. We have this navy blue glass, and it just blends out all this like fake water even better. People have figured out ways to do it where you just stack the glass on top of each other and make new different colors, but that is just so complicated for someone who's just joining Minecraft. We want to make things easy for people to build and like fun to build when you start the game. We do have a lot of white blocks, but I just love the idea of a white sandstone and like white sand. Imagine like a beach biome that's just white, beautiful sand with like super bright blue. That would be so pretty. And then again on this red wood, we have red, we have mangrove, but look at this like brown red. The mahogany is so nice. And it transitions so smoothly into this like darker reddish brown. Again, there are so many browns missing. You would not know that you were missing this color of wood if I didn't say anything. And even like this color too. Look at this. It's like almost green, but it transitions really nicely into this like gray shingle block here. And then all of these brownie oranges on the walls, all of these are missing. It is just so many colors that we need. This is soul sandstone. I think that'd be great because we are missing brown walls right now. We have fences, but we need brown walls to like match with our fences. Building right now is like all about shapes. Again, like it's so important to include shape in your build, and we're just missing so many wall blocks. I wish we had fences and walls for every color possible. Anyway, comment your ideas down below. Think of all these blocks and like what shades you want to see or what colors you want to see. Thank you guys for watching, and thanks for all the support on my last video.